millions and millions of black customers. And they got millions and millions of interracial couples. And they got millions and millions of white people who make money off of black people being in the Starbucks and in their circle. Okay? That's why they cannot hate you, because it costs them too much to hate you. But does that mean that you now allow yourself to be vulnerable? Does that mean you don't protect yourself? You understand? Does that mean that you don't, step in and do what it takes to watch over you and your people? Okay. What's the, somebody run me our exact address up here in Harlem, up here in the headquarters. Run it. 22 79 3rd Avenue. For those of you that's texting and hitting me up on Facebook that want to come in, 2279 3rd Avenue, Harlem. Did I get that right? Okay. Y'all come on up. You're welcome here at the headquarters. Come on and hang with us. All right. So, back to what I was saying, like it hurts us, because here's the thing: for the ones that Martin Luther King dream is costing us millions, because those white people that show their love and kind and careness for us, we drop our guard and join on to them, and because we do, they eat us alive. Right. If we owned anything in Harlem in the past, we are wiped out. And I keep bringing up stuff, places like Harlem, because places like Harlem and Crown Heights are a microcosm of the entire black community across this empire. In some places worse than others. We have lived such a horrible lie of belief in God as though he loved all these other nations while they wipe us out. And brother, this video I'm about to show you, that some of you already seen, I got 2 of them. The second one, you might not have even seen it. But when you see this video footage out, you're going to understand the hatred that this man has for us. And let me tell you something. Cops arrest people from all nationalities. You understand? Cops arrest people from all nationalities. You understand? But so, wait a minute. Salaki, y'all. Cops arrest people from, I got it, from all nationalities. Why is it these incidents don't happen with the other nations? Because they're not hated like us. Come on out.
And go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Right, he comes crouching. But the Lord said, take heed, man, and beware of him. Because if you don't be aware of him, he's going to eat us alive. The ISUPK is such a godsend to the Lord's people. To anybody who have lived in a black neighborhood and watch it become gentrified and watch it become wiped out and watch the people of that society, that area become subservient to an entire other nation and be abused and strained, all in the name of progress and rehabilitation of the neighborhood and all that. For all of that, brother, man, thank God for the ISUPK, brother, because we the only ones that would stand up and say something against this, man. And in this manner, you understand? Our preachers sold us out to be white. Come on, I'm gonna get to the footage in a second, y'all. Come on, I just gotta finish this one up. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
Right, you're gonna be to him as though you wiped a looking glass, brother. Meaning you're going to be to him as though the reflection was there, got wiped clean, and it's back. That animal is back, and it is not gone away. Man, oh man, brothers and sisters, we got to raise the brothers up. That's it on that script. Go ahead, finish that up.
And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
Right. You see your reflection in a pond, and you drop a rock in, your reflection go away. But what happens after the water stills down again? Your reflection come right back. That's what that scripture is saying. That evil, he gonna be like that while you suffering and going through trouble. He gonna be acting like, everything is all right. We're friends. We go back for years. We've got to live side by side.
Right.
You know what I mean? Can't we all get along? Isn't that what Rodney King said? What about Martin? And then the minute he get the chance to starve you and your family, he's going to do it.
Right.
His reflection comes right back. The minute he gets the chance to rob you blind, he's going to do it.
Right.
Okay, little Doc, come. Okay, go ahead, Doc. Go ahead. Where you going? 885. Go ahead.
First Esdras 8 and 85. I can got it. Moreover, you shall never seek to have peace with them.
Right. You can't seek their peace. Here's why. Because they gonna be at peace with you while they eating you alive. And that's what's happening to Black people and Latino people and Native Indian people all across this empire. You understand? Like, we could have built this empire, which we did anyway, and we could have lived deliciously as the servants of these devils until Christ's return. This devil ain't had to be this evil.
Right.
He did not have to bring every other nation in here and put that nation up over us. He could have just had us be like, we're going to pay y'all well. Y'all going to have big jobs and run big companies, but y'all going to always be second-class citizens under us. And guess what? We did our job until Christ's return. We doing it anyway. With crumbs, we doing it. How much more we would have done it if he had dealt halfway right with us. That's why when the children of Israel left Egypt, the scriptures say we spoiled the Egyptians, because them Egyptians have been ripping us off for so goddamn long. The Lord let us go to them and make them give us what the hell they were supposed to give us. And brother, as a people in this empire, we have been worn out as a people in this empire. When they say they're going to wear out the saints, it means just that. Go ahead, brother in the back. You have more, Salaki. You holding more? That's it? Go ahead. Go ahead.
The scripture was 1 Esdras chapter 8, verse 85.
Which one did we read? The one, 1 Esdras 8:85. You got it? Read it again for him.
Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them.
Right. You got to really look at the condition of your people. We don't even have the proper compassion that we should have for our people, because then the things that are happening to us would outrage us way more than it does even right now. And it is important to put that spirit on you and to have control within that spirit. It's important to put that spirit on you and have control within that spirit, because by doing that, let me tell you something, you're going to be focused on the building of your people. And you're also going to discover something else. You're going to discover how much one brother can do in the work of the Lord that come from one of these 12 tribes towards the rest of the nation. Question?
Yeah. So what can be done? Because I'm thinking about it from like a point of view of someone in the world, you know?
Right.
Growing up in Harlem in the 70s,
right,
80s, and his own Black and Hispanic,
right.
And someone saying, I wish the neighborhood could be better, no drug dealers,
yeah,
no that.
Right.
It gets gentrified.
Right.
And then, okay, now they're saying, oh, well, now the neighborhood's getting better. You know, there's more police around.
Right.
There's people on the corner. Now we get up to 2018 and there's hardly any mom and pop stores. There's hardly any this and that. And they're saying, okay, now I can't go because everything's so expensive. There's nothing.
Exactly.
Like, you asked for this and now you're complaining.
That's right. And really and show you how, remember another thing, that's such a good point you brought up in this, that when we see this gentrification, we think this means good things for us when we don't own none of this. You know what I mean? We don't own none of it. Meaning they gentrifying this to rob us more. Right? They're going to make things look beautiful and pretty and clean, and finally bring in the cops they should have brought in before, finally get their clandestine organizations to stop selling dope in that area. And then when they finish doing all of that, guess what? Then they're going to rape us blind. Now your baby going to spend, your baby's mama going to spend twice as much for that gallon of milk, because now you got to serve that devil even more. And here's the thing. They saying it's gotten better. The neighborhood got better when they don't blame the man who destroyed the neighborhood in the first place. They blame us for the destruction, but blame him for the gentrification. when he's the one that destroyed it in the first place. He's the one that cut the police, cut the sanitation. He's the one that clandestinely brought the drugs in the neighborhood. He's the one that did all these things. He's the one that was abusing people and arresting people in massive numbers. He did all that. But then when it came time for him to make some money, oh, then he cleaned it all up and charged everybody for it. Go ahead.
I'll give an example from my neighborhood on 109th between Anthem and Brotherhood. That area, was very big with Hispanic,
Right.
and Black. So now Columbia University
Moving up that way, yep.
Well, they're the second biggest entity to own the most property here in New York City.
Right.
So they own a lot of the buildings in my neighborhood. So now we have a whole bunch of Edomites.
Right.
We have a whole bunch of Moabites and Ammonites.
Right.
We have there's a Jewish temple around the corner.
Right.
We have homosexuality all over.
Right.
Because on one corner there's a homosexual bar.
Here's what we don't understand. We don't understand what it means to be overthrown. Because here's what nobody's thinking about. You know what nobody's thinking about? Nobody's thinking about the thousands of families in the homeless shelter over the bridge in Queens. Nobody's thinking about the thousands of families who had to move out of their apartment, throw it in storage, pay another white man another $125 a month for their furniture while they moved back in with their parents, cramped their parents' house, took away the peace that their parents and grandparents had. And now both them and their grandparents got to split the rent because there's too much goddamn rent for one set of that whole group to pay. So they all piled in the house. They doubly stressed because they all trying to live their own life in that compact situation. Nobody talks about them. Just a few people who's still able to do good in that neighborhood now sit around and say, the neighborhood got great and it's multicultural. Look, they opened the new deli. Oh, have you been to the sushi bar? It's delicious. But here's what they don't understand, that eventually those white people want to get rid of them too. You know what I'm waiting for? Keep your eye on it. I'm waiting for the first big story that makes the news about some white people who beat the hell out of some black people who went into a store in Harlem. I'm waiting to hear because it's on its way. You understand? It's on its way. And when it happened, you're going to know, damn, we got overthrown and now we abused as an outsider in our own neighborhood. And that is exactly what happened to us in our own nation. I'm going to come to you in a second. And here's the sad part. The sad part is our people don't know it, don't see it, can't comprehend it, which is once again why you hear me all the time talk about how important it is for a prophet of the Lord to be in this truth. A man called to do the work of the Lord. I don't care if you got 1 foot, 1 eye, and you spinning around in a top. You've been called to the Most High and given to this truth. You are extremely valuable. The Lord himself said, I shall make a man more precious than fine gold. Because without you, then the real issue cannot be dealt with. And here's the real issue. The Lord said this. Forget about all the other answers. The Lord said this. They that serve the Lord must serve him in spirit and in truth. That's the only way you serve the Lord. So what does that mean? That means that the people of the Lord must understand spiritually what it is the will of the Lord is. And they only learn that if they are taught by us. Right now, they don't know what it is to serve the Lord in the spirit. They don't know what it is to really follow the Lord's laws, statutes, commandments, and to know and understand why he wants you to do it. The end result of why he wants you to do this. They don't understand that. They're just like, y'all got crazy religion to them. You know, why I can't eat pork? Why I can't do nothing? They don't understand the significance. Why I can't? The white boy Billy is my friend. When he gets a few sticks of weed, he always calls me up. You don't call me up and come smoke some weed with me. You drink your liquor with your little friends with your scarf on your head. But you don't call me. Why? Billy is my friend. When he don't understand that the Lord is telling him you cannot play with Billy because Billy going to grow up to be Billy Willie Cracker that's going to be ruling over your black ass. Excuse my French. You understand what I'm saying? He don't understand that part, but the Lord does understand that part, and it is why he presses upon him to not do that, and why, once again, without y'all, without us, they will never learn it. Without us, they will never grasp the seriousness of it until we get to these videos I'm getting ready to play. Then they grasp it. When they get to these videos, then they grasp it. Come on, out in the back.
And that was a great segue to what I wanted to add, because although Columbia University has been buying up all the property in my neighborhood and bringing in this gentrification, you would expect, crime and drugs to go down, but no. The homosexuals are still buying crack outside the bar. We still have Columbia students coming to my neighborhood to buy cocaine, marijuana.
Here's what's amazing about it. Here's what's amazing about it. What's amazing about it is because it's white people moving in, we automatically assume the neighborhood is going to get better. We don't assume that white people are going to move in and that those that rule over us still want the drugs to provide for the Columbia University students. Like they don't want the neighborhood to come in and the dope dry up. They just want the neighborhood to change and the dope be sold in a more congenial manner. You understand? They want the dope sold out of a dorm room, not by some brother on the corner with a hip hop playing in his goddamn car. That's not seemly. But out of the dorm room of the science lab with the good dope. You understand? Because there's probably people trying to come in. Yeah, you can green light them. Let them on in. Let them two right on in. They good. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Oh, yeah, set her up. Set them up, your brothers and sisters. So, yeah, come on. Welcome to the class, y'all. So, check it out. Like, I lost my thought. Go ahead, Abon. Yeah, that's it. The opioid epidemic right now is blustering across the United States. I mean, crazily. You don't hear nothing about it. You don't hear the arrest. They said that they turned in certain police precincts, correct me if I'm wrong, they said in certain police precincts that they're going to have the cops start carrying the daggone, what's the pen called? That thing they shoot you with? Go ahead, Op. The Narcan. Narcan. That Narcan is when your black ass is dead on the sidewalk with your tongue hanging out your mouth and the patrol car happened to show at the last second. Then they stab you with the goddamn Narcan to take the damn dope out of you before you die. Now, before that, all the dope running through Harlem and everywhere else across America, did you ever hear them say, we're going to put some Narcan, save these people's life? We're going to have incarcerations of all these white people? Brother, I was down in North Carolina a couple of weeks ago and looking for some outlets or something, out doing business. And we rolled up into some outside neighborhood off of the main city. Brother, it looked like the entire neighborhood. It looked like the mayor is smoking dope. It's a totally white neighborhood. And you don't hear nothing about it. Nothing. Because the dope ain't what they trying to end. We are what they're trying to end. We are what they're trying to end. Brother in the back.
Yo,
I'll come back to you.
What's commonly known as is naloxone.
What the dope you talking about? The needle they give you? I think they call it nar.
Specifically, a certain scripture of Revelation 6 chapter that talks about the 4 horsemen.
Right.
I need to know, we know the first horseman has been around since 69, that's Christ. You can see the second horseman starting to really show his face truly in the earth. I wanted to get your understand what you have to say on the third and the fourth horseman. Because we know that one is around the corner, and I know it's our job to be vigilant on that to make sure we can tell. Don't eat that meat because that's famine and not.
I'll give them to you towards the end of this class, all right? Just so I don't cut it onto the film. But I'll give you all 4 of the horsemen before the end of this class. All right? No, any other question? Go ahead,
With the gentrification, sir, right?
Right.
And then they're trying to buy like black houses, right?
Right.
The black people that are still in the houses, they get money for it.
Right.
Like being like in the
Right.
as a hustler, right?
Right.
Why couldn't like black people like try to take that money, being that they want to flip houses now? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Houses, why don't they just like flip houses and build business? But I don't see like I don't understand what black people is like doing when they sell those houses. You know what I'm saying?
I'll help you out. Them black people that selling those houses, they having dreams about flip them out off of the face of this earth. Like this place here, but we under the illusion that we could do what we see on TV. I hear black people say that all the time. I'm gonna flip houses. I'm gonna be a house flipper. You ain't flipping no houses, man. You might flip one house, and you better hope you get from up under that in most cases. You know why the white man is doing it? Because he got all kinds of money and support behind him. You understand? Them white people that took over Eastern Parkway and all them areas in Brooklyn, brother, they getting billions from the United States government. And listen, and what they not getting from the government, they are doing underhandedly. I told you about the gun permit thing, right? Y'all remember that? Brother, in Brooklyn, them so-called Jews were issuing themselves thousands of gun permits in New York City illegally, right out of one police plaza. They signed and they ain't even going in. They got somebody in one police plaza. They down in Brooklyn with the yarmulke and the curls on their head and somebody handing them a gun permit. Have you ever heard of anything that crazy? They go right to the gun store, go get a Glock 9mm, put it on their waist and ride around in New York City with a gun permit. That's why you can't flip houses like that.
Right.
Because here's the illusion we have. We have the illusion that white people do nice, clean, good business, and they seem to be doing it right. And why can't black people do it the same way? Why we can't do good business like them? Because they not doing good business. Right. The whole fact that they buying them houses in our neighborhood is proof that they are profiting off of the destruction of our people. That's how they profiting. They profiting from they're able to buy those houses because they already robbed some other black people to get the money for those houses. And them black people they robbed, they destroyed and wiped them out. Now they buying this neighborhood up, and guess what? They're going to destroy and wipe these people out. And here's the sad part. The people they wiped out over here, when they got back up on their feet, they rented them the houses over here. And then they'll starve them to death here. And then when they get finished starving them to death, they'll build new houses back over here. Tell them, well, we got new rentals right here. It's only $1,800 a month. You're more than welcome. The utilities included. You can't beat it. Which is, they monsters. They monsters. They give the appearance of fair play and good, intelligent business. And it seems like you should, pay attention to what they thieves. Their daddies was thieves. The scriptures say Cain was a murderer from the beginning. You understand? America is built on thievery and slavery. That's all it's built on. You think it is built on good. There is not, listen to me good. There is not one international business that comes out of America into another country that is not in that country after a war propagated by America. Find me one. Go anywhere in the world, I challenge you to go anywhere in the world and find an international business from America that has business in another country that does not have that business based on war. And if it's not war with that country, it is a deal for a war that they had as a proxy war. That's how they prosper in this empire. This empire is no different than the Romans, the Greeks, the Edomites in their first stage. And let me tell you something else too. When you read them scriptures and you read about nations ruling over other nations and enslaving those nations and taking the spoils of those nations and all that, it seemed like if you didn't know better, it seemed like you would read the Old Testament and it seemed like it's just a bunch of nations fighting over each other and overthrowing each other and taking the resources from each other. But then you come to modern day today and you start saying to yourself, well, that ain't how they do things today. Today, they do things with business, international law, the United Nations, all of that's bullshit. That's bullshit. They doing it just like they did it back. Nothing has changed. You reading the Bible? Nothing has changed in 4,000 years. Egypt enslaved us, used our resources and strength in the empire they built, and took over damn near the whole Middle East. The Egyptians had their empire stretched all the way into what we call today modern day Turkey. With no cars, no planes, no trains, they stretched all the way into Turkey. And forget about how far south in Africa, they were in Europe, okay, with all the power the Egyptians had. And how did they get all that power? Trade? Well, they had good corn? What, special string beans or something? No, it had been written in them scriptures. They got it simply by one reason. They enslaved us, made themselves rich and powerful, used every ounce of our, you know how they say they use every ounce of the pig? They use every ounce of us. They use our intelligence. They use our ingenuity. They use our ability, our musical ability for entertainment. I don't even want to begin to talk about what they use with our strength. Look at one football team worth millions with 12 Jakes on a field, fill up a stadium with 25,000 people to come see 12 niggas throw a piece of pigskin down a field. And you telling me they don't use every ounce of us? They use every ounce of us, bro. Every ounce of us, just like the Egyptians did. That's why the Lord had to come get us, because the Egyptians had gotten so great and powerful and used us in every single way. And we were so stuck. We were so destroyed. It was like there was no way to get out of this, which it wasn't. And really, without the truth of the Lord, there is no way for Black people, Latino people to ever help themselves. It's 2018, and we still can't fight the white man. Like, you still gonna get knocked out, your teeth knocked out in a Starbucks. 2018. You still gonna be at the police precinct complaining about how the cops done bust you upside the head when they pulled you over, when you talk about your tail light out. 2018. 2018, we still complaining and hoping and praying, because once again, without the Lord, we'll never get out of this. Everything else out is smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. That's how you make money in this empire. That's why they coming and rushing up into these Black neighborhoods. Because let me give you the 20-year plan for these little white yuppies. They working for corporations, right? Buying condos, buying brownstones, buying little businesses. Now, while they had them businesses and they working, they making their money. They having their babies, right? They raising their babies in their school in Harlem, right? Now, 20 years from now, they'll have a nice nest egg. They'll probably buy themselves a house outside the city. Kids have all gone to school, getting ready to go to college now. Plenty of savings, plenty of cash in the pocket. Here's what the next step is. Move out to that big house in the suburbs and rent that place in Harlem to you.
Right.
And when they kids get out of school, turn that place over to the children. And so guess what? Now the next generation is in play. So what do? They either sell the house to you, or they keep it and just keep on renting it to you. Either way, they continue to make more money. Wow, what happens to you? You struggling on a job, trying to pay your bills, paying their rent for astronomical amounts, trying to get a savings, trying to keep your family together, while they doing every other evil thing to help destroy you and make sure that it never happened, okay? While making sure their kids' schools are right. It ain't gonna be no schools where white kids go to where it ain't gonna be enough books. You ain't gonna find one. It ain't gonna be a school in Harlem where white kids go where there ain't gonna be no heat. You ain't gonna find one. And here's the amazing part. People pay for public education through their taxes, right? And white people don't pay more taxes than Black people. Matter of fact, in most cases, they pay less taxes than Black people. Am I right? So why is it that the school would overnight have all the books, be painted, have everything it needs, when it didn't happen before, when Black people was paying the same taxes? What's the difference? Taxes is taxes. Why is it that all of a sudden the school has everything it needs? Because it's important that them white kids' school have everything it needs. Your school, it ain't important. They don't have the money for it. There's no budget for it. Why is there a budget for it now? Same amount of people, only difference is now they're white. What happened? What changed? And so that's how it goes. It's simply this, that no other nation can prosper enormously on this earth without slave labor. Check every empire you ever heard of in the earth that rose to superpower status. Find me one that did not have another ethnic group as slaves. You'll never find it, especially in the scriptures.
Right.
Every single empire in them scriptures had other nations under them. And all of those nations said, we all got to work together. You can go back and look at the Babylonian Empire, the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, the East Indian Empire, all of them empires. They all said the same thing. Oh, we have the Egyptian Empire. The Egyptian Empire, brother, the Egyptian Empire believed that all people should work together and be one. That was the philosophy of the Egyptian Empire. The Egyptian Empire wasn't like, oh, we Egyptians, we different than y'all. No, it was like a melting pot. But when you read the scriptures, what did they say about Joseph? It said the Egyptians was an abomination for the Egyptians to eat with a Hebrew, was it not? So America's exactly the same way. America say we for all people. We love all people till you go out into the white neighborhood and sit in a restaurant with white people. And then like this sister we about to show the tape, you end up with your damn head split open. Exactly like ancient Egypt. They say they love everybody. Why? Because that's how you get all nations to work together. Let me tell you something. I'm going to come back to you in a second because I'm going to top it off with this. I'm going to switch topics in a second, but I'm coming right back to you. When you go back and read about the Tower of Babel, the Tower of Babel was the same in every single empire, including America. Every empire, starting from the first empire, the Tower of Babel, they brought all the people together, made them all slaves, or made them believe they was workers, okay? Because remember, the Egyptians never used the term slave. You won't find the term slave in Egypt. That's why the Egyptian scholars always say there was no slavery in Egypt. You can't find the words because they were smart. Just like America, you ain't gonna find the word slave in America, but we nickname it what? I'm going to my slave. Why? Because it in essence is slavery, okay? For some of these menial jobs that brothers is going through in this hell. But don't nobody call it that, but that's what it is. Back in ancient Babylon, what was the mantra of Nimrod? Nimrod said, let's bring all nations together. Let them have one language. Let them have one mind. What do they say in America? You've got to learn English. If you want to be a citizen, why don't you learn English? Why are they so hard set on you learning their language? Because once again, they want everybody together, everybody thinking together. Why? To make their empire great. Why? So they can fight against the Lord. But what about the people that they got together to do this? Do you think they really care about those people? Hell no, they don't. Hell no. Those people are conquered for one reason and one reason only, to help build their empire. And they did it all over the world. Well, that's why you got North Korea, South Korea, North Vietnamese, South Vietnamese. You know what that is? Two white men fighting over the same piece of land of people to make them slaves. South Korea belonged to the white man over here. North Korea belonged to the white man in Russia. And both of them is slaves to them different nations. Okay? And that's how they eat. They eat by serving the master, serving him. Same with the Japanese. What happened after he bombed the Japanese with 2 goddamn nuclear bombs? After he killed all them Japanese. Now what is Japanese? Now you can go right downtown to the Japanese. How you do this? Sake? Sushi? Please come in. Why? Because they destroyed. And the same with the Lord's people. They did it with the Lord. That's how empires are built. And guess what? I'm sorry to say, that's how Christ's empire is going to be. Only one difference with Christ's empire. The only difference with Christ's empire, everybody going to be a slave except the 12 tribes. That's the only difference. The only difference is everybody going to be a slave. You understand? You won't even be able to come in Jerusalem. It'd be illegal. You think the Klan bad. It'd be illegal to come into Jerusalem when Christ is. You see how when you go down to D.C., when the president come in, you can't get within 4 blocks of the White House when he coming in. It shuts it all down when that motorcade coming. I'm going to hit you with something. When Christ fly into Jerusalem, cracker won't be able to be within Star Wars space. He damn near have to move to the moon to be out of Christ's goddamn way. They ain't coming nowhere near Jerusalem in that day. And why? Because the scriptures say this: whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Okay, we done did 4 years, and the Lord came back on top of it and said, give him double on what he gave us. We did 4 years, he getting 8. And so are the other nations. Brother right here, Salakia.
What I was gonna say is because you was mentioning how they don't like to eat. But I grew up around Left City, that's not too far from Forest Hills. Right?
I know Left Rack, yeah.
Okay, that's not too far from Forest Hills. I also went to Forest Hills High School, so a lot of them Russian devils I ended up going to school with. One of my partners, this shortly before I came into the truth, he's Ephraim. He had him a little devil, Snowbody. That Snowbody wanted to be cool with me or whatever. So she said, I know this nice Russian place. We can get you a nice little thing to eat. The minute I walked up in there with that girl, I thought I was about to be lynched. Up in New York, so that is absolutely, to this day, they do not like dealing with us.
Exactly. They'll never say it on the job or whatever, because again, they got to make money off of you. You understand? So of course they all nice to you, and that's the stupidity that black people don't learn. You think because white people are nice and polite to you when you come into their business, that means they like you. They nice and polite to you because they trying to eat, and you got money in your pocket. Hold your thought for a second. That's why they trying to do that. They ain't doing it because they got some special love for us. They hate us with a blood-curdling hate. Hold on, y'all, because we're going to run out of time. Abon, please play me that video of this sister. Now, y'all brace yourself for this video you about to see right here. Brace yourself for this hell. This is only in America to Black, Latino, and Native Indian people out. What you about to see. And you able to switch it over where they can see it on the, or you going to do it like that? Let me see it. Bring it up live. Let me see how it comes. Look. There's no way to feed it right in, right? Not yet. We're working on that. You zoom that in more or no?
So I can bring it closer though.
Yeah, because they got to be able to see this. Can you get it, Abon? He's working on it right now, if you can. Only if you can. I know you may not be able to. But, okay, come. There we go. You getting it? Because you got to see this. If you don't believe the white man is the devil after seeing this, something is wrong with your brain. You got to get closer. They ain't going to be able to see that.
It's a little lag.
You're closer than that, what I see right there?
Ready to go, sir.
Okay. Wait, let's see if we can get in there. If you can. You don't have a monitor to see where your camera's at, right?
We do.
Oh, okay. Okay. Tell me where you at now. Okay, yeah, now you get
Closer?
If you could, boy, I wish you could get. Can you get a little closer? If you can. What's up? If you can. Just let it, because our brothers, we can give them the link, but boy, can you type in the link in the chat room?
Yes, sir.
For them to get this? Yeah, okay. Type in the link for them to get this chat room. Shalom, warrior. Good to see you. All right. That was a good time. All right, you could do that then. Yeah, that's good. That's perfect right there. Play this footage out. This here is classic. Check this out. Go ahead.
You haven't did nothing. You haven't did nothing. You haven't asked him what's corporate number. That's the only thing she asked him.
She only asked for a fork and a spoon. She said, why I got to pay 50 cents for a fork and a knife? They lied and said she started with saying this and saying that. They lied about it. Look at her. He wants to rape her.
Yes, he would.
That's that, once again. Look at him. Can y'all see that? Watch what he does to her clothes. Look at her. Watch what he does to her clothes. Look at that. He's ripping her clothes off of her. He said, I'm going to break your arm. That's what I'm doing. Her breasts are exposed, and he's still trying to rip more of her clothes off. Look at the white people enjoying their lunch and dinner. Look at this here. They would never do this to a white woman. They would never do this to a white woman.
it. Y'all got it down. Y'all got it down. Y'all fix it. I can't fix it. Y'all fix it. They got it down. She ain't did nothing. Y'all just came in pulling on her.
You can stop it right there. Now let me tell you something. Granted, the sister's ignorant. The sister don't know better. The sister ain't dressed like she should. You can come up with 1,000 things to say that the sister's doing wrong. But you know what never comes to mind? What never comes to mind is that situation with a white woman would not be handled that way. I don't give a damn how. White women and curse cops out, throw drinks in their faces, all of that. And they don't get handled like that. Wait a minute, a bond. You got to find this for me. Hold that. Find me the footage of when they arrested the terrorists from Toronto. We played it Monday night. Find that footage for me. Brother, this is a terrorist that mowed down people in Toronto. And they went to arrest him out, and they did not shoot him. And he pointed a gun at him. He had the gun like this here at the cops. They would not fire at him. You know why? Because his life is important. They thinking about he's got a family. He's got children. You all right? Salam. He's got a family. He's got children. That's good. He's got a family. We can't do that to him. He's got a mother and a father. Probably a father himself. It's important what goes on with his life. But they are brainwashed to hate you in your life. And you had better wake up to it and quick. Okay? Because that is the spirit of the day in this place. And you got another video, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna come to that one in a second. I'm trying to run through everything because we only got till 9. So bear with me a second, okay? Like that's what is going on with that right there, brother. Man, let me get back where it was, because that should never happen to anybody. Once again, cops encounter the worst of all society. You think they don't run into no East Indian drunks all the time? Right across the street from the school in Philly, they got a bar over there, brother, where them Japanese are. I'm serious. 4 a.m, they be laid out on the street corner, drunk, sleep on the dead, laid out like dead people from drinking all that damn sake in the damn Oriental restaurant across the street. Oh, you got it. Okay, we're gonna come right back to it. Like that's what that. But they don't get arrested and handled like that. They get talked to, spoken to a certain way, all of that. This place hates you, and you have got to come back to the Lord, or you're going to watch this place fall apart, meaning Black America, Latino America, Native Indian America, crumble before your eyes. And you're going to wake up one day and realize, I have no defense. I've got nobody to help us. And it's going to be too late in that day. Let me show. Can you say, come on back. You got to show this for a bomb.
Same angle?
Yeah, get up close if you can so they can see this. And again, we'll put the link in the chat room. All right. We'll put the link in the chat room, but you got to see this again. Go ahead, Bon. Yeah, he can adjust it when it comes up. Go on, do your best. Do your best. This last minute, Salakia. There you go. You looking good. Look at this here. Look at this here. That's the guy that mowed down the people with the car. He killed a ton of people. They caught up with him. Going from the beginning if you can. Look at him. Look at him. He got a gun in his hand. Look at the cop. He got the gun in his hand. That's the truck he ran the people over. It got the blood on the truck. Look at the cop. He got the gun on him. He's pointing a gun at a cop. Look at him. Look at him. He didn't get shot yet. Anybody want a coffee? Cappuccino? Listen, he ain't dead. They took him into custody. Look, they still yelling at him. Look, finally they got him. And this ain't even a good shot. They got one shot that's over the top of his head, but that's good enough for Bond. That one is good to watch. Listen, they took him into custody, y'all. He never fired a shot at him. They kill a black man with nothing in the car. Talk about, I thought he had a gun. You know he got a gun. He pointing it at you. And he still does not get shot. And you ain't going to tell me. And once again, that's why black people and Latino people got to wash the brainwashing off your mind that it is your fault. When there's people pointing guns at cops and they ain't getting shot, but a black person gets shot at the drop of a dime. And there's a reason for that, because they have what the scriptures say is a perpetual hatred for the Lord's people. That's the reason. And here's the problem. The problem is you have a perpetual love for them. So you got an endless love and unconditional forgive 400 years of slavery, whatever, Mr. White Man. And him, he got a perpetual hatred, cannot stand you. Abon, find me the scripture real quick where the Lord said, hold your thought for a second, where the Lord said, the land was filled with the children of Israel and it vexed the Egyptians. Get that for me. I'll come back to the brother's point. Like, that's what they have. Let me get another scripture right quick while we at it. Somebody get Isaiah, while he's looking for that, somebody get Isaiah 30:1. I'll come back to your question in a second. Bear with me, all right? Isaiah 30:1. Somebody read that. Whoever got it. Read it.
30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children.
That's us. You know what we rebel against? We rebel against what the Lord wants us to be, which is to serve the Lord. And to serve. Did not Christ come and make it super clear? He said, these two things the law hang on. Love the Lord with all thy heart and all thy soul, and love thy brother as himself. And guess what? We rebel against it. We rebel against loving the Lord and loving our brother. Instead, we choose the gods of the other nations and we love the other nations. Oh, we masters at serving their gods. When Bruce Lee came over here, that old faux chicken wings and fried rice, he probably smelled like wonton. So every time I see one of them yellow sweatsuits, all I can think is this must smell like Chinese food. I think I smell the Chinese food, even if it's in the store brand new. If it's yellow, it just smells like Chinese food to me. Because every Chinaman had on a yellow Bruce Lee outfit. And black people went Bruce Lee crazy. A lot of y'all may not remember. I do. Everybody had on kung fu shoes, a kung fu gi. Negroes walking around eating bowls of rice. You eat bowls of white rice. We're eating with chopsticks. Nigga can't eat with no chopsticks. Fingers too goddamn big. And you sit up there trying to eat with chopsticks, be Chinese. Y'all remember that? Putting Buddha up in the house. Tina Turner went out. She out serving Buddha and giving Buddha lettuce. Buddha eating better than niggas in Harlem. What the hell's going on here? You understand? That was us in the 70s. 80s, here came Islam. We went kufi crazy. Nigga had international multicolored kufis. Nigga had kufi with every kind of Arab word, scripture, book, garment. You Negroes was on the corner fight. You was praying more than the Arabs was praying. The Arabs went in the back of the store and prayed. You out on the corner of 125th Street, bowing down, busting your head on the concrete, praying to damn Allah. That's us. That's us. And it is rebellion against the Lord. Because if you search the scriptures and pray to the Most High, you would find out and you would know that we are the chosen people of the Lord. And that would get you to first base, to take you to second base, to the full truth that we are the lost 12 tribe of the children of Israel. But we rebel and go into the other gods. Forget about the Christian church. They the worst of all. The Christian church, because of the white man, give up every principle the Lord has and give it all up to the white man. You holding the other footage when they arrested the brother? Oh, you got to cue up the other one for me. I'm gonna go with the brother. Oh yeah, you got it right there. Through water. We're gonna come back to it. Good. You got what I was asking for? Go ahead, read it.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 7.
And let me just say this. I always say this. I'm gonna say it again tonight. I love that book of Exodus. I love it for right now. You know what I mean? We love all the scriptures, but I personally like that Exodus because it's so right for right now. You feel me? For what we've been going through. It's so educational. I can't get enough of it because it's so educational on the experience we're experiencing right now because it parallels so well. Read this for me, Abon, and you tell me if this is not every ghetto in America, what he's about to read right now. Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 7. And the children of Israel were fruitful.
Right.
And
whoever had Isaiah 30, hold that. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel were fruitful.
And that's us. Go to anywhere we at and we flood the city. You go to any major city in America and we out there with a string band of kids. Shopping, especially the tribe of Ephraim. Ephraim out there, brother, kids and everybody, grandma, uncle, so-and-so, everybody. That's us. We multiply. And what?
And increase abundantly.
And we increase abundantly, even though we on the bottom. We come out with the best athletes, the best musicians, the best looking people. I'd be amazed. White people rich as hell. They darky and funny, shaped and all that. Got all kind of strange, weird diseases you never even heard of. You understand? All the time. Where we come out, a black woman living in some rat hole someplace with every roach and germ and disease and come out with 2 6-foot-tall sons. You know what I mean? They on the basketball court at 13. What? Slamming it down. You like, what the hell they feeding these Negroes in there? You understand? That's us. That's us. That's our bloodline. That's who we are. That's what happens in every nation that gets us in captivity. Check your own history. You understand? Check your constitution and check your history. And that's how we should be looking at this book. This is our constitution. It's our history. And we should, and listen, and you know why you can't embrace it in America? You can't embrace it in America because it does something to you that America don't like. America don't mind the East Indians having their own land and their own identity. America don't mind the Arabs having their own land and their own religion and their own identity. The white man don't mind the Orientals having that, but he don't never want you to have it because you designated as the slave. And if you start thinking that way, you're going to seek to be independent of him. And if you seek to be independent of him, you might want what's rightfully yours, which is part of this empire. Once again, you check ancient Egypt. People were in ancient Egypt from all nations all over the world. They were in Egypt. You can go check their records. People came in and traded with them from all over the world and lived in Egypt. But there was one people who couldn't fit in with the rest of the empire. Them 12 tribes, which is why the Lord had to take us out. Right. Go ahead, read on.
And multiply.
And we multiply. Come on.
And wax exceeding mighty.
And we became mighty, which we do. We scare the hell out of white people because we become mighty. Go ahead.
And the land was filled with them.
And what?
The land was filled with them.
That's America. America, we on the bottom of America, and America is filled with us. They vexed with us. They don't know what to do with us. They got so much of us in prison, they don't know what to do. They got so much of us in every neighborhood, they don't know what to do. We flourishing and bubbling and multiplying and exceeding with all that they do to us. We still making the best music and still in their arenas and still our culture. That was another thing. They knew already. That's why they had to destroy rap when it first came out. Our ability to create and move culture is so extraordinary that they can't stop it. Like, they can't even stop their kids from just being absorbed into Black culture, Latino culture. They know that already. It's unstoppable, and it vexes the hell out of them. And that's what happened in Egypt. When you go back and check the records, we changed so much in Egypt. We changed the agriculture, the music. We changed the way they built and structured things. We engineered stuff 10 times better than them. And what happens to these nations when they get us in captivity, they get an amazing empire, but then they have to run 1,000 miles an hour to stay ahead of us. Because if they let down their guard for a second, we'll just naturally excel past them. And they'll find themselves as the second-class citizens because that's just how bad we are as a people. So they're always in a constant keeping us down, blaming us, assassinating our character. They're always doing it. And meanwhile, it's exhausting to them. It's exhausting their spirit. And brother, that's why the land get filled. And what happened?
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt.
No, before that, get to where it said, and they were vexed, and they were vexed by us being all over the land. It might be in front of that. Somewhere around there, it says how they were vexed. It might be in the next line. Who knows where it's at? You got it out? Give him that out.
Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them.
No, go back a little bit. Go back. How far up were you at? What verse were you at before? Okay, come on back down, maybe about 9.
Verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
That's what you're hearing out of Donald Trump's mouth. You hearing out of Donald Trump's mouth, we got to build a wall. The children of Israel is more and mightier than us. We should kill drug dealers. The children of Israel is more and mightier than us. What you hearing is that, but it's just being said in a different way. But it's that nonetheless. Nothing has changed. Remember the scripture said, there are no new things under the sun. It's all the same. Go ahead. Bear with me out. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Come on. Let us deal wisely with them.
You see what he said? Let's be smart about this. Let's deal with these niggas right. Deal with these Hispanics right. And they are smart about it. Because look, Harlem was owned by damn near all black people. We wake up 40, 50 years later, Harlem been overthrown. Now we the servants under them in Harlem. Go ahead. Exactly. Come on. You had a point too.
I was gonna say what you just said. The federal authorities, the judge, just reapproved DACA despite Donald Trump's attempt to get rid of DACA.
So they in there trying to fix, Democrats in there trying to save the DACA, but once again, he's putting it out there to white America. He's saying to white America, yo, let's deal with these people. They becoming mighty. Let's deal with them. They got scared to death when they started going to the Middle Eastern wars because they were scared that we were going to join them. They were scared to their brother. They were so scared when they put Obama in office. They put him in office. White people voted him in office. And white people went crazy. Like Donald Trump is only in the White House because Obama was in it before. Like Obama was in it. You wouldn't have got Donald Trump in the White House if Obama wasn't the president before. But because Obama was considered black to them, white people was galvanized because it was looking like, in their mind, of course, those of us that understood knew that Obama was working for them, not for us. The proof of it is he spent all the money with them and none of it with us. So it was obvious he wasn't working for us, but it scared white people out of their drawers. And they said, yo, we got to do something about this. And that's why they found the most racist cracker they could find to turn the clock back on everything that happened. And brother, they happy now and they are worried that he's going to get put out of office. So it was the same thing. They said, let's deal wisely. Come on, I'm going to come up off because I always bring these scriptures out. Come on.
Lest they multiply.
All right.
And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies.
Right. They're going to join to our enemies. They're going to overthrow us. They're going to be mightier than us. Okay. Go ahead.
And fight against us.
And right. Go ahead.
And so get them up out of the land.
And listen, and that's important. You hear how he said, so get them up out of the land. You think white people want us to not be slaves? They act like, remember, they hated us and dealt wisely with us right there. And dealt wisely with us and said, they're going to be mightier than us. Let's overthrow them. And still didn't say, let's overthrow them and let them get out of here. They said, let's overthrow them and keep them. Let black people, Latino, Native Indian people say, we leaving America, man. We had enough. Y'all ain't treating us right. You'll see white people flip on a dime and say, wait a minute now, you'll destroy the economy if you leave.
Right.
You can't just leave like that. You're American citizens. You have to participate. They'll pass a new law in Congress tomorrow. Every American citizen must stay in the country to help fix the country. Something. They'll come up with something to make sure you can't just, as a people, leave. Oh, they'll say, you don't like it here? Get the hell out. They'll tell you that while it's just you. Let 15 million niggas say that. Let 12 million Latinos say that. Let all the so-called North American Indians say it. All of them together. Let 50 million people say we out. And they making all this money off of us? Please. They'll try to kill us in these streets. Right. They'll try to kill, and here's why. Because those that are in charge know we're slaves. We're the only ones that don't know we're slaves. But they know we're slaves. And they know just what the damn right. They know just what to say and do about it. Okay? So go ahead, Op.
Verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters.
They stepped it up to oppress us and destroy us. I'm gonna come up off it. I want to read. I want to go back to who had Isaiah 30 for me. Let's finish reading that.
Isaiah 30,
Because I want to just focus a little bit back to my main point. My main point is that these incidents that we reading about and seeing about and watching video footage of, these incidents are happening because we are trying so desperately to join this man. You understand? We're trying so desperately to join this man. And here's the sad part. People need to get yourself together. You need to do something about Black America. Why are you complaining about the cops killing you when Black people are killing Black people? So then you go and say, okay, Mr. White Man, we're going to go into our neighborhood and we're going to fix our situation. And then you go into your neighborhood and say to the brothers, what's the problem in that we're doing all this killing and stuff? Well, we ain't got no jobs. We ain't got no work. We ain't got no, this, no that, no schools, no this. So then you turn around and say, okay, brothers, we're going to get together. We're going to create some jobs. We're going to open some businesses. We're going to refix these schools. We're going to do all these things. And you go out and do all that. Then guess what happens? And the white man sees you prospering and coming up. And he says to himself, let us, the children of, he sees you building schools, opening business, trading with each other. He sees Black Wall Street like he saw in Oklahoma. Right. And when he sees that, he sees Madam C.J. Walker become the first Black millionaire in Harlem in 1920. And he sees that and he says to himself, he says, what?
Come on, let us.
No, go above it. The children of Israel.
The children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Boy, they have a lot of businesses up there now. That's a lot of money exchanging hands. Read it again.
The children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Boy, they're prospering pretty well over there. Go ahead. Come
on. Let us deal wisely with them.
Then they come and overthrow you. There's no new game to this. We should, it's wonderful to want your rights from the white man in a white business. But it's much, much better to have your rights in a Black business. Same with that Waffle House. Black people love the Waffle House. I heard the food is good. I don't believe I've ever eaten there before. But I heard the waffles is slamming. Negroes ain't in there for nothing. Them waffles got some butter in them waffles. Well, nigga, you wouldn't see a Negro up in there like you do. The problem is a Black Waffle House was going to have security out there for two reasons. He's going to have security out there because he know how Negroes like to act. That's number one. He's going to have security out there too because if he's awake, he's going to realize that a white man could come walking in the Waffle House with no goddamn clothes on and an AR-15 and kill everybody in the front goddamn door because the white man is the devil, the Bible speaks. That's what the hell they gonna realize. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of Waffle House we gonna have to have, unfortunately. Come on with it.
Lest they multiply.
No, you can stop right there. I'm going back to 30. Throw out the two.
Isaiah 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, save the Most High, that take counsel, but not of me.
But take counsel, but not of the Most High. You understand? That's us. We rebellious. We take counsel, but we take counsel from counselors who prosper under the white man. We look at T.D. Jake as a man of the Lord. Why? Because he's rich, he's powerful, and he's on TV, and he's respected by the white man. We take counsel, but not of the Lord. We take counsel from the people that the white man sets up over us to keep us ignorant and sleep. Go ahead.
And that cover with a covering.
We might go over a little bit. Go ahead.
But
just a minute or two. I ain't going too much further. We almost done, y'all. Go ahead.
And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
And that cover with a covering, but not of the Spirit of the Most High. Go ahead.
That they may add sin to sin.
And that's how you add sin to sin. We are in a certain way. That's why she in there like, you can't handcuff me like this. You can't lock me up like this. That's how the brothers be. What I do? When what you did was be a slave. That's really what you did. It ain't that you did nothing. We still trying to figure out what crime we did. You ain't committed no crime. Even if you committed a crime, it don't mean you supposed to. Meanwhile, the terrorists could run niggas over with a van. Blood and guts still on the bumper, come out the van with the gun in his hand. I couldn't even believe that. pointed dead straight at the white man. And he still get to go get handcuffed and go home and go before the magistrate and say, well, I killed him because, you know, Allah Akbar, whatever nonsense he gonna come up with. But a black man, I mean, you just get pulled over in the car and end up damn dead. Like, that's the difference, man. We rebelled against the Lord. Give me some more. Real quick.
Chapter 30, verse 2.
Come on.
That walk to go down into Egypt.
Yeah, we walk to go down. We want to join this place when we have got to stop joining this place. We have got to stop looking at this place and this empire like this is the end all. Christ is coming back. And when he come back out, he going to destroy this earth. Scripture said he going to be as though he had a vesture dipped in blood. He going to cleanse the sins of this evil place, and he going to take revengeance on them 12 tribes. Because the thing about the Most High, brother, that we should all be thankful of. When the Lord make a covenant with you, he don't break it.
Right.
You can try to break it if you want to. But when he get finished with you, your black ass will be back trying to make sure that covenant get handled the right way. Because he's not having it. And that covenant that your father made, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, with the Most High, I don't give a damn what God you like. That blood running through you come from them 12 tribes, your ass belong to the Lord. And he gonna require that you be a part of that covenant. And you ain't got no choice in it. He gonna make sure it happens. And that's why we heading to the Third World War. Give me the footage of the Jake. I'm running out of time. 4 horsemen. You know what? Bring it up in class. Bring it up in class tomorrow night. I'll make sure somebody got the full breakdown for you, all right? Any clutch by tomorrow. I'm going to talk to Captain Tazar. Big shout out to Captain Tazar, y'all. Big shout out to Captain Katazar. All the other captains up in here tonight. Zakar, Shamaya Allah, my man. Hardcore. Captain right there. Big shout out to them holding it down up here in the headquarters. Big shout out to General Muhammad. Makes that trek up here every single week, Lord allow, diligently holding it down, teaching these classes like he does. I'm going to play a little bit of this footage. We tipping over the 9 mark, and we're going to get up out of here, man. Go ahead.
Also, how you were saying how this guy wasn't even, not one shot was taken at him, although he was pointing a blank gun, an actual gun at people, ran people over.
No, not at people. Let's get it right. He pointing the gun at the po-po. And he still get to go. And wait, let me bring out a very important point. Is the camera still on me? Am I blocking you out? Evil, you may not know. Before the videotapes used to come out, when they would do these violent and evil things to black people, they would say, you don't have any proof. It's his word against the cops. There's no videotape. You got no proof. You know, he said one thing, he said another. That was what they used to say. Then the videotape came out. And now the videos start coming out. And so they like all this video. And now, you know what white people do? Now they go to every little thing you did wrong and now say, that's the reason. Look at the skimpy skirt she had on. She should have paid the 50 cents for the plastic fork. Look at her. She's on the ground resisting. He's trying to put her arm behind her. Now that is video, now all of a sudden, I will put my hands behind my back. Right now, officer, see? Hands behind my back. You think that's what criminals do? Criminals don't always comply. Does it mean they gotta die? Hell no. A police officer, that's why he got rules. What's the name of the brother that they choked to death over selling the loose cigarettes? Eric Gardner. Eric Gardner, he's selling Lucy cigarettes. They telling him you under arrest. He like, yo, what am I doing? I'm not selling these cigarettes. Why you arresting me? Okay, he's not complying. He's not putting his hands behind his back. He's not complying. That means he's supposed to die. Some devil's supposed to jump on his neck and strangle him until he's dead because he didn't put his hands. It's like they finding now a little reason to say that's how he ended up dead. You have to obey the police officers. You have to put your hands where they can see them. You can't make any sudden moves. You shouldn't talk to the police that way. When meanwhile, suspects from every nation does that. They don't end up dead. They don't even end up dragged out the car. But you do, but they got to find a reason. Bear with me. We over the time. I'm going to play this footage because I told everybody online I was going to play it. So I want to play this footage, and then we're going to get ready to get up out of here. I want to give you a couple more scriptures, but I can't. Any class you come to, I'll let Tazariak know, break down the 4 horsemen. We'll put it online for everybody else that's looking for it. But we have to deal, I had to deal with the issue of the day, which is this right here. Go ahead. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Look at this. They arresting this Jake. Look at this. Look at his head. Look at his head. Look at the brother's head. That's in his house. You heard what he said? He said, Jesus Christ, I think he's dead. He tried to tell the other cop, said, don't kill him. You can stop it there, Bun. He said, don't kill him. You can bring it back to me real quick. He said, don't kill him. Because he saw how much he was smashing that. Did y'all see that? Was y'all able to see that? He was smashing that brother's head into the goddamn floor. And once again, you don't hear about none of these things. This is going on right with both hands. Wham, wham, to where the cop have to say, yo, don't kill him. And then when he finally stopped, the other cop is like, oh, my God, I think you killed him. I think he's dead. That's who's ruling over you. Not that idiot. You not Mr. Rogers on Channel 13 that you love to see. Or, you know, give me some of them white stars they love. That ain't Bruce Willis.
Right.
You know what I mean? That ain't what's it, Tom Cruise. That's not who's ruling over you. That is who's ruling over you. That animal is what's ruling over you. That's the one, the creature that you got to deal with. And brothers and sisters, we about to, and listen, and again, you wonder why we can't get the help we need. We can't get the help we need because we rebelling against the man that has conditions on that help. He wants to help us, but he ain't helping you and me if we decide that we're going to give that help and love to another nation. He wants to see us go in the opposite direction. And as we go in the opposite direction, then guess what? You'll never run into a Hebrew Israelite in some restaurant talking about, well, I have a right to be here, sir. The Hebrew Israelite, no, this is his crap. If I'm in here, it's in here because I got to be here. He don't want me in here. I keep my goddamn money in my pocket. We done been so brainwashed. We gonna fight. Show you how foolish, and I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Show you how foolish the civil rights movement was. How much of a mistake it was. How much they played Martin Luther King. The most racist white people who didn't want us in their businesses. We fought for them to take our money. We fought for them to prosper. We fought for them for us to eat. And while we did that, what happened to all the black businesses? They all shut down. Right. While the most racist white people got rich and got over the top of us. That's how we was operating. That's who we was pushing for. We pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing to be with them. And because of it, they do what anybody do that's over you. Eat you up alive. And after they ate us up alive, we had no more businesses, no more restaurants. Then we sat there and Mr. White Man, we need jobs. We need jobs. All right, I'm going to give y'all some jobs. That's what we do. And even today, because of that Martin Luther King civil rights mindset. Salakia, bear with me. I'll come back to you. Because of that Martin Luther King civil rights mindset. When our mindset has to be different, our preachers have lied to us. And that lie has permeated throughout the entire black community, man. Brothers and sisters, pay your tithes.
That's right.
Support this truth.
That's right.
Give me a thumbs up and subscribe.
That's right.
For the ISUPK, I'm Commanding General YAHANNA. I'll see y'all next time live on the UPK. All right, we done, Hebrews. We still on a bond? All right, you can go and kill it. Do what? Salaki, if I didn't get to everybody's question, please, I do whatever our usual routine is. Do what?
ISUPK security announcements. With the ISUPK started on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When new brother and sister come to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves with the world.
Oh, you got one.
If you need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister record each other. After this 6 months,
I'm going to declare to you tonight, the Black Hebrew Israelites will be the biggest black radical organization on the face of this